Hi, I'm back. Anyways, so despite defending Sensah Empire with all my life in this video, there are some things which I dislike about it. So let's get cracking. The shifter hoods feel like they're made out of cardboard, which is perfect for short rides. I really love them because they feel really stiff and confidence inspiring. But after like a 3-hour ride, they just kind of hurt. They feel like sandpaper. The skin on my hands gets so sore. So I've had to resort to buying gloves, which kind of make it a little bit better. Also, they don't seem to really fit on the hoods very well once you've moved them around. They fit perfectly initially when it came out of the box, but once I moved them around to tighten stuff and, just to move stuff, they didn't really go back to its initial shape. And as you can see, it's kind of flappy, kind of like an old man's penis. Also, if you use carbon handlebars, you might want to file down the edges of the clamps as they can kind of dig into your carbon handlebars. Now, I got this knowledge from my boy Pete Talk. Now, I don't think this one is Sensah's fault, it's just kind of the way it works. So when you press the shifters once and hear one click, it's downshifting. 2 clicks and it is upshifting. 3 clicks means you're double upshifting. The problem with the double upshifts is that if you're not very deliberate with your movements, you can get caught between a gear. This happens about once a ride for me, as I have pretty small hands, as you can see by how much I've wound in my brake levers. So the fact that I have rather small hands, combined with the fact that you have to sweep the levers quite a lot, means that you can get caught in a gear once in a while. Listen, now this isn't as bad as it sounds. So when you're jumping up a curb, your hands are on the hoods and your fingers are on the levers. And when jumping down the curb, your hands are on the drops and your fingers are also on the levers, or at least I hope they are. The action of your fingers being on the levers is enough to stop them from rattling. So far over 1 year of riding this bike, not once has it rattled out on the ride. So that's quite cool. The only time it rattles is when you're bouncing the bike. So when you bounce the bike, when you wash the bike, well, after you wash the bike, when you're trying to get all the water out from the bearings, maybe not bearings, you don't want water in your bearings, but around the bearings or in your brakes or in certain, what are those called? Bolts, because your bolts rust and you just want to get the water out of that. So you just drop the bike. So probably the biggest thing that users of Sensah Empire hate, well not all of them, is the fact that they didn't replace the broken shifter. Now obviously there's no warranty, hence they don't need to replace it. It's not rocket science. But come on, did they not test this? Mine broke after 30 kilometers, which I made a video about right here, which you should check out. Or here, I don't know. Now, not having a complete group set is one of those things where it's like, it's alright, but it could be better if you had it. So if you go on AliExpress, they sell complete group sets which are dirt cheap. They use Sensah shifters and derailleurs and some other brand crankset, brakes, chain and all that other stuff. Now you might think, oh, that's not too bad. And it's not too bad. But the problem arises with the brakes. Now I'll play a clip from one of my older videos because I'm late. Now this only applies if you bought those complete group sets on AliExpress, such as these. The ones that I bought came with these racework brakes, which I swapped out for Shimano ones as they were absolute crap. They had 2 big problems about them. Number 1, they don't stop. These racework brake pads are horrendous, honestly. Just one of my Shimano R7000 brakes stops better than a pair of these. Now you might be like, oh, why don't you just buy new brake pads? Well, my answer to that is no, because the second problem with these brakes was the build quality. Now I know they're cheap, they are freaking $20, but look at what I'm talking about, right? You see these barrel adjusters, right? they don't turn. I can pull them out, but they can't turn. And I'm sure it's not just these racework brakes, because on AliExpress, it is very common for multiple brands to source the same products from the same supplier. Look at this, alright? These are my old racework brakes. And then look at this. And then look at this. Yeah. So if you're thinking about getting brakes that look like this, just don't. You're better off paying slightly more for better brakes. Yeah, seems pretty bad now, doesn't it? But yeah, oddly enough, that's all I dislike about Sensah Empire. There's also other stuff like build quality. For example, if you compare it to a Shimano 105 Groupset, which is like super refined, it just kind of feels like plastic. It's not plastic, you know, like half of it is just metal, but the way it's built just kind of feels cheap, you know, like, yeah. Also, the shifters may not fit as many people as the Shimano 105, because, you know, Shimano has like hundreds of thousands of testers or users all over the world. Sensah has like thousand people using. So yeah, they don't have as many testers. I don't know what it's called, but whatever. If you have enjoyed this video, or at least have been entertained, No, if you have learned something from this video, or have been entertained, do feel free to leave a like and a subscribe. It really helps the channel. But as always, I will see you guys next time. Good night, everybody.